Hello there, I am Pablo Moser, and today I'm going to be preparing a traditional Cubano sandwich inspired by the movie Chef. In the film, we see Martin carefully measure all the ingredients in preparation of marinating the pork, which, as you can see, I am doing here. This touch of seasoning I am adding is not seen in the film itself, but is a crucially important step in the meat's overall preparation. This part really brings out the whole experience with the pork to make it even juicier, which brings the flavor into play before we even start to bake the pork. The Cubano sandwich was believed to be invented by a Cuban Spanish-Italian immigrant, but there is a tale that it was created by a tribe who lived in Cuba so many years ago, so no one really knows the origin of the sandwich or even the exact dates of when it was invented. Food, if you didn't know, means very well to Cubans and even Cuban Americans. According to a quote written by Sofia Pelez in her book, The Cuban Table, she states, "For many Cuban Americans struggling to maintain their identities for several generations, food is a pure expression of their culture they have left behind or inherited from their parents." During the movie, the relationship with Martin and his culture's relationship with food is seen through a scene where Martin, Carl, and Percy all share a moment where they taste the mojo Cuban roast pork. The scene later pans into Carl's explaining to Percy all the important ingredients that go into a Cubano sandwich, from pickles, mustard, cheese, and even the two meats. When adding all the ingredients into the bread in the film, Carl then asks Percy to check the heat on the presser. Percy doesn't know if the presser is hot, and Carl shows Percy how to check by adding water to the presser. It will immediately evaporate. In our case, we will test this with our skillet. The scene has a huge significance of showing the audience of two cultures, Cuban and Americans, coming together. Now quoting Variety's film review, which is called SXSW Film Review of Chef, written by Joe Laydon, says Casper and his two assistants attract customers by offering their own twists of food favored by locals. Carl, Martin, as well as Percy, through this really important scene in the movie, have bonded over the making of the sandwich and have even brought together people of all cultures together to share this delicious sandwich. We see another scene come into play when the men of the food truck first open up the truck and serve the Cubano sandwiches. We see hundreds of different people gather around the truck to try the food. Quoting the article From Place to Non-Place, a case study of social media and contemporary food trucks, street food has contributed to the vitality of urban life across cultures for centuries. Even when making foods that are common from food trucks and street foods, you can still enjoy the cultural differences, the time and effort it takes to put in even when it seems like it's fast food. As you can see, even when making foods that are made from food trucks, it brings together all types of people from communities and even people in your home.